From watching a horror movie in a packed cinema to telling ghost stories around a campfire, scary things are just better when you're doing with your friends. So here are some of the most terrifying multiplayer games on Xbox to help you out this Halloween.
Essentially a series of choose-your-own misadventure stories, the Dark Pictures games are perfect for any group who wants thrills and chills of watching a good horror movie with the added tension of, being responsible for everything that happens. Each of these narrative horror games sees a group of people wandering into the middle of some hellish scenario, or, other, whether it's a haunted ship, or subterranean temple full of monsters, or the murder hotel from this year's entry, The Devil in Me. The Dark Pictures games allow you to play with your friends in a couple of different ways. You can link up with another player online and vote how to approach each new twist in the tale, or settle in on the couch with a group of friends for a co-op mode where each player takes control of a single character, passing the gamepad between them. So either way, you're in for a chilling, thrilling experience. Thanks to some recent updates, each of the Dark Pictures games are now fully optimised, meaning that the Xbox Series X gamers can now enjoy their horrifying tales in their ray-traced HDR10 supported 4K Ultra HD glory. It really makes those moments where you realise you've accidentally sentenced someone to a grisly death look all the more vivid. Now, let's go back for blood.
Lots of these games feature things that go bump in the night, but if you want one that lets you bump back, then Back 4 Blood is the way to go. It takes the Left 4 Dead blueprint and adds a whole lot more gunpowder as you and your team of highly skilled cleaners take the fight directly to the undead horde. With a vast arsenal of weapons at your disposal and a clever card-based buff system, it's the perfect place to take revenge on all of zombie kind for killing off all your favourite Walking Dead characters. Blasting your way through crowds of zombies together is a time-honoured gaming tradition, and Back 4 Blood lets you do so in style, with a smooth 60 FPS frame rate on Xbox Series X and S, and it's available now on Xbox Game Pass too. Ever wondered how you and your friends would get on if you were caught up in a slasher movie? Would you look out for one another, make smart decisions together, and make it out alive? Or would you immediately fall to panicked bickering and end up on the business end of a machete? Well, playing The Quarry is a great way to find out as you take control of a group of camp counselors whose end of summer party is crashed by some very murdery intruders. It makes for an amazing couch co-op experience with each player taking control of one counselor and tries to guide them to a happy ending. Or at least not a totally miserable one. And if your friends are a little further flung, there's also an online co-op mode where you watch the story play out together and vote on key decisions, which does spread culpability around nice and evenly. Finally, in movie night mode, you simply pick the personality traits you want each character to have, and then sit back and relax as the story plays out in front of you. Although, maybe not so much with the relax part actually.
The Evil Dead series has been a staple of many Halloween hangouts, and now you can get right in on the action thanks to this asymmetrical adaptation. It takes inspiration from all three original movies and the Ash vs the Evil Dead TV series. It features a whole range of characters for you to try your luck as, plus more demonic entities that you could choke a chainsaw at. Best of all, it utilises a physics-based gore system, so when the red stuff hits the fan, it looks spectacularly gruesome, and that's what we're all really here for, right? So, if your idea of a good time prioritises demonic possessions and disembowelment, the Evil Dead game is definitely the way to go.
If you get home from hanging out with your friends and someone asks how it went and you say, we didn't starve, then you probably think that seems like a weirdly low bar to aim for. But in this particular game, it's actually one heck of an achievement. Don't Starve Together puts a multiplayer spin on the original survival game, letting you and your friends hunt, craft, and generally try to stay alive together in one of gaming's most hostile environments. It's not just that the whole world is procedurally generated, it's that everything it's procedurally generating is completely terrifying. With its ghoulish art style and endless array of hidden secrets, Don't Starve Together is a marvelously morbid way to spend a few late-night gaming sessions. And if you like your multiplayer games asymmetrical, there's two other beloved titles that we absolutely need to shout out. The first is, of course, Dead by Daylight. Available via Xbox Game Pass, this slasher-inspired gem sees one player controlling a vicious killer, while the rest control their potential killies. The survivors win by surviving, and the killer wins by, well, it's all kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? Over the years, Dead by Daylight has bulked out its horrible collection of monsters and murderers by drawing from all kinds of iconic horror movies, games, and other bits of pop culture. Basically, if it has ever scared you half to death, you can expect to find it stalking after you in Dead by Daylight, hell-bent on finishing the job.
The other game that's great for ganging up on your most murderous friend is Among Us. This one requires a much higher degree of subterfuge as the killer tries to go about their grisly business in secret, pretending to be part of the crew and picking their friends off when nobody is looking. It is, and trust me, the perfect game for sowing paranoia, distrust, and general bad vibes amongst your friend group in the most, hilarious way. Since first becoming a viral sensation, Among Us has continued to build on its delightfully sinister premise with the addition of added roles, cosmetic options, rule sets, and all sorts of other little tweaks that will allow you and your friends to keep finding fresh ways to stab each other in the back. Oh, and by the way, did we mention it's on Xbox Game Pass? If you're going to face down the end of the world, you definitely want a good friend by your side, and that's something that Dying Light 2 makes viscerally clear. This fleet-footed dystopian adventure has you cartwheeling through a zombie-infested open world where the living people are about as dangerous as the undead ones. With enemies on all sides, having someone to fight alongside you could be key to your survival. Just, be sure not to accidentally leave your partner behind while backflipping between buildings. But look, if you and your friends want to test your bonds in the fires of a post-apocalyptic coliseum, the Bloody Ties DLC has got you covered. Although, you could just go and get a coffee or something, which I might do now.
Lastly, you and your friends can go rev up your very own mystery machine with the Blackout Club. When some supernatural goings-on leave the adults without a Scooby, it falls to a group of keen-eyed adolescents to figure out what's really going on and track down their missing friend. In this first-person adventure, you and your buddies will try to get to the bottom of the blackouts that are plaguing the neighborhood, delving into the dark secrets that dwell beneath your sleepy hometown. You'll get to go all Inspector Gadget too, using everything from grappling hooks to drones as you try to track down the evidence that will force the grown-ups to pay attention. It's going to be a dark and dangerous adventure, but at least you'll have each other.
If your friends can't say no to a good ghost story or a midnight gore fest, these titles are sure to satisfy your dark appetites. So feel free to invoke the name of your favourite horrors down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more recommendations, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.